Dory is a secretary at an orthodontist's office. She is a wife to Marlin and a mother to her stepson Nemo. Dory faces extreme short-term memory loss. She's an excellent swimmer and works with Nemo on his emerging swimming skills. Dory has trouble remembering what she's already taught Nemo and what he's working on now. Dory often gets distracted when completing daily activities. Her family describes her as inefficient. She will often forget to transfer a wet load of laundry to the dryer and have to rewash the clothes. Her boss is committed to Dory's continued employment, but she often fails to complete her work routine. She needs redirection to complete tasks. Dory wants to be able to return to tasks after being interrupted by the arrival of new patients in the office.
Dory is a bubbly, light-hearted, social person with strong family support. She perseveres and has a positive attitude regardless of what life challenges come her way. She is compassionate and very willing to help others. She is also trusting of others and forgives and forgets quickly. Dory is unafraid to stand up for herself and take the lead when her skills are relevant and needed.
We chose the neurofunctional approach because the goals are to retrain functional skills and identify deficits limiting function. The neurofunctional approach works by teaching the actual tasks and emphasizing task completion as part of the daily habits and routines. The goal of this approach is to overcome the deficits rather than to remediate them, which is appropriate for a client like Dory, whose inherent memory challenges are not likely to go away. The neurofunctional approach emphasizes the modification of tasks, environmental cues, and repetition of behavior until it becomes automatic.
The neurofunctional approach was developed by Gordon Giles and Clark Wilson in 1993. It was originally developed for individuals with neurological impairments affecting cognitive functioning, such as attention and memory problems.
The neurofunctional approach is based on principles of teaching specific functional tasks and compensatory strategies to the point of overlearning. The goals of this approach seek to transform functional occupations into automatic behaviors and routines in order to lessen the cognitive load on the individual while performing everyday activities.
This model assumes that by retraining an individual in functional, real-life activities, areas of insight, mental efficiency, self-esteem, and organization will also be improved. It takes into consideration the individual's learning characteristics in order to design and implement intervention programs.
The neurofunctional model is a strength-based approach that focuses on retraining of occupational performance and skills. This approach recognizes the need for automatic, functional behaviors that are developed through the repetition of tasks. This approach believes that learned behaviors come through repetition, cueing, and self-sustaining training of tasks.
Structured observation will be important in any assessment process because we will need to see how Dory's cognitive challenges affect her everyday life. An OT's clinical reasoning could be a helpful addition to the occupational interview and any formal testing.
The River-Mead Behavioral Memory Test is another assessment that will help us obtain information about Dory's everyday memory problems and to monitor change over time. It will also allow us to see which tasks may be more difficult for Dory in her daily routine because of her memory challenges.
The Canadian Occupational Performance Measure, or COPM, is an assessment designed to detect change in a person's performance and satisfaction levels over time. This assessment will provide valid information about Dory's occupational performance and what is important to her. The COPM will allow us to develop a client-centered intervention.
Dory experiences short-term memory loss, which interferes with her ability to remember specific conversations and situations. She frequently forgets why she is completing certain activities and often forgets other people's names. Dory is frequently required to relearn things due to her inability to store short-term memories.
The neurofunctional approach is appropriate for Dory as it focuses on mental efficiency and her ability to remember various situations throughout her day. By training highly specific compensatory behaviors, Dory will identify strategies needed to overcome short-term memory loss.
Dory has a goal of staying on task in her work routine. She would like to be able to switch her attention from patients coming in and out of the office back to what she was previously doing in order to complete her secretarial duties in an efficient and timely manner.
Dory would like to remember what she has taught Nemo during previous swimming lessons and what he is working on now in order to avoid wasting lesson time on refreshing her memory.
Dory would also like to remember to put clothes in the dryer and spend less time rewashing clothing that she has forgotten in the washer.
In her work tasks, Dory will implement a brightly colored sticky tab to direct her attention back to wherever she left off. Because Dory's attention is so easily diverted, using a particularly salient visual cue in the form of a neon-colored sticky tab will be most useful in redirecting and recapturing her attention. We will use errorless learning to train her to use this system of staying on task.
We will practice with Dory and initially cue her every time to place the sticky tab on her computer screen, phone, calendar, etc. when she hears someone new enter the office or approach her desk. Then remind her to look for the sticky tab once she's done speaking to the newly arriving or departing patient. We will slowly cue Dory less and less to place and search for the sticky tab until she is doing this with 100% accuracy.
Dory will use the same sticky tab strategy for completing her laundry tasks. She will do laundry at the same time and day each week in order to routinize this task. She will start laundry when she begins cooking dinner and place the sticky tab on her plate to remind her to transfer the laundry before she eats. If she has multiple loads, she can start another time and place more sticky tabs to remind herself to transfer the second load after dinner cleanup. Dory will use a memory notebook to address her ability to remember the swim skills for Nemo's lesson. She is experiencing difficulty remembering what she has taught in previous lessons, limiting her time teaching Nemo. She will write down the scheduled swimming lesson times and record what skills were taught immediately following each lesson. She will return to her memory notebook prior to each lesson in order to plan for the next.
A study in 2009 investigated the use of visually salient cues on a working memory task. Researchers used cues to draw visual attention in a fast, automatic, and involuntary way. They found that more salient cues meant that people did better on the memory task. Research indicates that using something attention-grabbing, like fluorescent sticky tabs, should help draw Dory's attention back to what she was doing.
Evidence shows that the use of memory notebooks is a successful intervention for developing increased note-taking skills and remembering tasks. The memory notebooks were used to record and retrieve valuable information. The notebook for Dory will include a log of daily appointments, important scheduled dates, and will be used for recording important life goals, work schedules, and personal notes.